the water of life. What would you do? Your father is dying. There is only one way to save him. You must find the legendary water of life. No one knows where it is, or even if it exists. Would you go? Would you risk your life for someone you love? The dying king. A powerful king lay in bed, pale and weak. His 3 sons stood around him, silent and afraid. The best doctors had tried everything, but nothing helped. The youngest son gently held his father's hand. "Don't give up," he whispered. "There's still hope." The king opened his tired eyes. "Only the water of life can save me," he said. "But it is far away, and very dangerous. A dangerous quest." The eldest son stepped forward confidently. "I will find it," he said with pride. He wasn't thinking about saving the king. He was thinking about becoming king himself. He packed gold, weapons, and fine clothes. "I'll return quickly," he promised. But the youngest son saw his cold smile and did not believe his words. A lonely road. The eldest son rode alone for days. When the road became rocky and difficult, he stopped at a rich inn with music and wine. "I deserve comfort," he said to himself. He stayed there, drinking and laughing, forgetting his mission completely. Meanwhile, the king's health grew worse. The second son. The second brother stepped forward next. "I'll go," he said with a proud smile. He wanted glory more than anything, to be known as the hero who saved the king. He packed shiny armor and delicious food. He waved goodbye and rode off quickly. But his heart was full of pride, not love. The trap of comfort. Like his older brother, the second son soon found comfort on the road. He discovered a castle filled with music, games, and gold. "They will write songs about me," he said proudly. He stayed for weeks, never even reaching the mountains. The king, still weak, continued to fade. The youngest son. At last, the youngest son stepped forward. "Father, I will go," he said softly. He had no sword, no gold, and no fine clothes. He carried only a small bag of bread and a heart full of love. He kissed his father's forehead gently. "I will find the water of life, or die trying." A mysterious stranger. On the 3rd day of his journey, he met an old man sitting under a tree. "Where are you going, young man?" the old man asked. "I am searching for the water of life," the boy replied. The old man smiled kindly. "Then you must listen carefully," he said. The secret path. The old man pointed toward the dark, distant mountains. "Go past the forest, walk through fire, and do not fear," he said. "There you will find a gate with 3 iron doors. Each one holds a test. If your heart is pure, you will pass them all." The boy bowed with gratitude. "Thank you, kind sir," he said. The first gate. When he reached the first iron door, a voice called out, "Speak the truth, or turn away." He closed his eyes and said, "I am afraid I'm not strong enough, but I love my father more than I fear the road." The door creaked open slowly, allowing him to pass. The second gate. He reached the second gate. It was covered in thick ice. A voice whispered, "Kindness opens the way." He looked around. In a dark corner, a small bird was shivering. He took off his warm coat and gently wrapped it around the bird. "I can find another coat," he said, "but not another chance to be kind." Suddenly the ice began to melt. The door opened. Kindness and love had passed the test. The final gate. He reached the last door. It was silent. Nothing happened. He stood still and waited. Hours passed. Then he said softly, "I will wait forever if I must. My father's life is worth it." Suddenly, the door opened on its own. He had not forced it. He had not begged. He had waited with love and patience, and that was the final test. The hidden garden. Behind the gate was a garden, glowing with light. At the center was a fountain, the water of life. He filled a bottle and smiled, tears in his eyes. But just then, he heard a cry for help. The captive princess. A girl was trapped behind thorny vines. Her voice was weak. "Please help me." He didn't hesitate. He cut the vines with his hands. Blood dripped, but he smiled. "Are you okay?" She nodded. "You saved me." A deeper kind of magic. The princess gave him a rose. "This is no ordinary flower," she said. "When your heart breaks, smell this. It will lead you back to love." He thanked her and left with the bottle safe in his hands. The return begins. He started his journey back, but the forest had changed. Storms came, paths twisted. He nearly gave up until he touched the rose. It glowed, and a warm wind pushed him forward. Return to the inn. He reached the inn where his brothers had stayed. They were shocked to see him alive. He told them everything: the gates, the garden, the water of life. He showed them the glowing bottle. The brothers smiled, but their hearts were not kind. That night, they sat by the fire. While he drank, they poured poison into his cup. "He'll never wake," the eldest whispered. Stolen hope. While he slept, the brothers took the bottle. They wrapped it in cloth and rode into the night. Snow fell outside the inn. He didn't move. He didn't wake. By morning, the fire was out. He was cold and alone. The brothers arrived at the palace. They held up the bottle proudly and said, "We found the water of life." But they had left the truth behind. The false gift. The king drank from the bottle, but nothing happened. His hands stayed cold. His eyes didn't open. The queen touched his face and whispered, "What went wrong?" The bottle looked full, but the seal had been broken. The brothers had spilled some. They mixed it with wine to hide the truth. The magic was gone. The room fell silent. "We were so close," the queen said. "But the water of life does not work without love." The return of the youngest. Days later, the youngest son awoke. He was weak, but alive. He followed the rose's glow through forest and snow. It led him back to the palace, back to truth, back to love. A father's final hope. He rushed to the king's side. "Father, drink this," he begged. The king opened his eyes. "Is it really you?" The boy smiled. "Yes, father. I came back. I never gave up." He poured the last drops, and the king's hands grew warm. The king lives. Colour returned to the king's face. His eyes opened wide. I feel alive. The youngest wept. The queen held his hand. You saved him, she whispered. Not just with water, but with your heart. The truth revealed. The king learned the truth about the journey, the gates, and the betrayal. He looked at his eldest sons. You wanted power, but power without love is nothing. He turned to the youngest. You are my true heir. The rose blooms. The princess arrived that evening, drawn by the rose's magic. The youngest saw her and smiled. You came. I always keep promises, she said. In her hands, the rose bloomed again. A new beginning. The king stepped down. The youngest took the crown, but not for himself. He ruled with kindness. He opened schools. He gave food to the poor. And in the garden, he planted the rose. What about you? Would you pass the gates? Would you help a stranger, a tiny bird in the cold, or a princess trapped behind thorns? Would you wait with patience? Would you give up something you love to show kindness? Sometimes the hardest path leads to the greatest reward. And maybe, just maybe, the water of life is already inside you. And so is the love that made the rose bloom. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more fun English lessons.